Welcome to today's Beachside Chat. Today we're in the Maldives. I've booked up to 8 hours, and I don't think we'll be here that long, but I still have 8 hours if I want to use it. And I think we're going to enjoy today's little encounter. Happy 27th of August, the year 2019. As I sip on my cafe, my giant coffee cup. But first of all, I need to, as I put my feet up, I need to make a correction. With that? Yeah, I know, I will. Yeah. This is not Baby Steggy. This is Fluffy. Sure likes that. See, he's nodding? Oh, yes. Where are you? Oh my God! Oh no! Go for it. It's okay. It's okay. This is Baby Steggy. He hasn't even grown his spikes yet. Fluffy? Baby Steggy? Yeah. Okay. I have to sneeze. Yeah! Woof! Sometimes that just rattles your brains, eh? It's so nice here at the beach today. You can, Fluffy, yesterday was your day. Okay, you can. Today it's Baby Steggy's. All right, Baby Steggy's. Ready for a nap. I don't know how smart baby or stegosauruses are. Somehow I don't think they were really that intelligent. Why would they have spiked tails? To beat off allosauruses and, other carnivorous creatures. And why were baby steggies so vulnerable? Because they didn't develop the spikes on their tail yet, of course. So they couldn't easily fend off against baby allosauruses, or yeah. So, anyhow, now that correction has been made, and we're talking about the intelligence of animals, and names are important. You might have heard the sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but names will never hurt me. Well, I think that statement is completely backwards. Because names can insult and hurt you a lot deeper and longer than if, a stick broke your bone. After a few weeks, the cast comes off. But being called names, like, I don't mean mixing Fluffy and Baby Steggy up. That's not going to hurt anything. Well, unless you intentionally do it. But Here I go again with but, that word that I hate so much. What else do you use to attach to sentences or phrases or segments of communication together? I don't know. Although, we could use although. Although, I don't think that would work too good. There was one example of, there was this one fella that, I told you about Wojtek, right? And, yeah, I mean, he was a Polish guy. Not that Polish guys are lesser of an individual, but, and it's just the way I said it, you know. And he was working and he knew very, very little English. He's probably, yeah, it wasn't good. And this was in the 1989, when a lot of Poles were leaving Poland because of strife and not good situation. And they were coming to Canada by different means. And Wojtek, well, which is known as Wojtek, because W is pronounced V in Polish. The letter V does not exist in Polish. And it didn't used to exist in German either. That's how the Volkswagen came about. That's a different history that we're not going to talk about. I'm confusing you. Sorry, baby. Anyhow, me and this other fella, but more so the other fella, but I was guilty as well. We were calling Wojtek Wojtek. And, of course, in the beginning, he didn't say anything. Then he started to look disgruntled. So one day, he mustered up the nerve, or we just made him, just ticked him off so much. And he said, "My name is not Wojtek, it's Wojtek." And then we realized, whoa, sorry. Well, it comes to a different thing. You know, if something bothers you, if he would have said right away, "Hey, look, guys, it's Wojtek," well, that would be hard because his English was so bad. He didn't have the words to say this, even though it irritated him. I mean, somebody can make a mistake. It's okay. All he had to do was, within the first couple of times, say, "Hey, please, my name is pronounced Wojtek. I would respect if you would say that." And I certainly would have. I don't know about the other guy, but I know I would. And that's what you must do. Anybody must do. If you feel a little bit insulted, and so there's given allowances. Like if the name in a different language is unpronounceable, then what can you do? You can't be so insulted. You can be insulted right away, and you could say, "Look, my name is this. Can you try to pronounce it that way?" And if you find out that they can't, then you have to just let it go. Or if you hate the way they're pronouncing your name so much, don't call you something else. Because you got to meet in the middle, or you're just going to have conflict. And conflict gives stress. Conflict leads to war, and war leads to dead people, and starvation, strife, bad things happen. War. We're sitting on a nice, beautiful beach in the Maldives, sipping on a pineapple coffee. Yeah, which sounds rather disgusting. So don't let any. As I said, it's okay right away. Another example. Here's a great example. Mummy's family. Well, my old name, Dana. They could not pronounce it properly. I would have had, from the beginning, I would have had to spell it a completely different way, and they would have been able to. But who knows? Nobody knows that kind of stuff. You know why I changed it. Because I got tired of having to show my ID because they never heard of a guy named Dana, and the final straw was I had to show my ID at the library. I was just insulting. So I actually took Mummy's card one time. To me, Renice is a girl's name, a feminine name. No problem. Ironically, it was the same guy. They wouldn't have remembered me anyways, but, it became tiring, and I gave up. And it was never a name that I hated. And it goes back to the psychological stuff. I love psychology. I wanted to be a psychologist at one time. Yeah, well, that didn't happen. But we can all play armchair psychologists. And my mother used to always tell me, Dana, never accept anybody's pronouncing your name Dana. She would tell me this many times. Because she probably had it a few times when people mispronounced it. And she said, Dana is spelt with 2 N's. Makes sense. How D-A-N-A cannot be pronounced Dana in English. Sorry. Even though some people who do have that name pronounce it that way. It's because they're imbeciles, they're idiots, and they're dumb. You shouldn't insult people. Even though I just did. So I apologize to Baby Steggy and to Fluffy. You can come back in now. They're friends, I know. Well, they're from the same species. There's another thing. Names. Dog. This is what I initially was going to talk about. Dogs' names. Maybe you've chosen by now. It's earlier in the morning. The sun is up here on the beach. And, flies coming around. Crabs, too. Get out of here. I hate those little crabs come up on your toes and they start biting them, and I don't like that. But I think dogs are smart. You can take a dog, Itchy for example. He knows when we call him Itchy, he knows. And when the other people call him Alimao, they know. He knows. I think you could have a dog in a house with 7 people and have 7 different names, and they associate the voice to the name, how the voice sounds. So if my guess is if those people would have called Itchy, if they would have said Itchy, Itchy wouldn't respond. And if we would have called Itchy Alimount, he wouldn't respond. It wouldn't make sense to him. So I bet you, if you had a house of 7 people, a dog could have 7 different names. Do just fine. I don't know about 20, but why am I picking 7? It's because that's God's number. Remember? 8 probably wouldn't be able to do it because dogs are God's favorite animal. Why? Because if you invert it, God, dog, makes sense. Only in English. Some more pineapple coffee. So I think if Mommy wanted to call Spot and you wanted to call it, and I wanted to call it Godzilla, it would know. And if Baby Steggy wanted to call him, yeah, it would know. Or would it run away? No idea. And be careful. Be careful of your stuffies around. Right? Be careful. That's the end of today's Beachside Chat. I hope you had a nice time. We'll talk about some other things in tomorrow's. Maybe we'll stay here. It's very nice. We could go somewhere else too. Just a short hop away. Have a nice day.